A Hillary Clinton está metida nos maiores escândalos que você pode imaginar. Vai desde ritual satânico a pedofilia, a turismo sexual com menores, a negociações com grupos terroristas, conluios com a grande mídia e com toda a agenda globalista, tudo de ruim que você pode imaginar. Ainda assim, a mídia brasileira vende ela pra você como se ela fosse a vovó Donalda. Puta merda, é a vovó Donalda. O que ela sabe fazer são tortas que alegram as pessoas. O Trump é que é o malvadão. Esse é malvadão, vai acabar com tudo, é malvado. Vejam só, tiveram uma gravação dele há 10 anos atrás onde ele dizia assim: meu, quando você é famoso, as meninas deixam você fazer o que quiser. Que canalha! Como ele pode fazer isso? É um criminoso! Ah! Nossa! Você precisa se informar a respeito da Hillary Clinton, porque as eleições nos Estados Unidos, elas afetam o mundo todo, principalmente você aqui no Brasil. Então o primeiro vídeo que eu vou colocar aqui é o depoimento de uma juíza a respeito do caso que a Hillary Clinton defendeu 2 estupradores que violentaram uma menina de 12 anos, onde ela mente na corte. Depois, são alguns relatos do Steve Pizzenik, que serviu, né, durante o governo do Ford, do Carter, do Nixon, do Reagan, do Bush, né, ensinou a guerra psicológica para as Forças Armadas dos Estados Unidos, né, escreveu um manual a respeito de guerra psicológica para a CIA. É um cara respeitadíssimo, ele que criou o Tom Clancy, você sabe, do PlayStation e tudo mais. Pois é, ele que criou. Então, ele é uma das maiores autoridades no assunto, no que diz respeito à inteligência nos Estados Unidos. Ele é um psiquiatra, PhD, esteve dentro de tudo aquilo que acontece no governo. Vou colocar aqui também um depoimento do Julian Assange, da Wikileaks. Vou colocar um depoimento do meu amigo, do Jason, do Casando o Verbo, onde ele dá uma opinião bastante interessante, e alguns outros vídeos aqui. É muito importante que você forme a sua opinião a respeito da Hillary Clinton.
If you think that Hillary Clinton, the self-described champion of women and children, cares about you, your kids, or anyone else for that matter, you are sorely mistaken. And if you care about children, you don't gloat and you don't laugh about a 41-year-old pedophile charged with first-degree rape of a 12-year-old sixth grader. Take a listen to lawyer Hillary, still with her Arkansas twang, on recently unearthed audio tapes from the mid-'80s talking about the very rapist she represented in 1975, laughing about the fact that her client actually passed a lie detector.
I have this polygraph, which he passed, which forever destroyed my faith in polygraphs.
Really funny when a pedophile beats a polygraph, isn't it? And Hillary, he destroyed your faith in polygraphs? As in, you knew he was guilty but still passed? And by the way, didn't you just violate the attorney-client privilege? But you're so proud of yourself, you gloat on tape that if you can get a particular expert interested in the case, he'll testify so that it comes out just the way you want it to come out. And when you get that expert ready to testify the way you want, you go to the prosecutor and tell him this.
Well, this guy's ready to come from New York to this miscarriage of justice.
You're laughing because you know it's not a miscarriage of justice, aren't you? But Hillary, that's not all. You go for the kill. You decide to smear and attack the credibility of a helpless 12-year-old raped by 2 men. So beaten, so damaged, she ended up in the hospital with her mother at 4 a.m., never able to have children. So damaged, she suffered decades of depression. So damaged that at the tender age of 13, she tried to kill herself. In your papers, Hillary, you say without any proof other than your own concoction that the 12-year-old victim had made up previous attacks, was emotionally unstable, sought the company of older men, and fantasized about it, and She was from a dysfunctional, or as you call it, disorganized family. You blame the victim and you laugh about it. You take a bow and you laugh that you gamed the system, proudly announcing that you got the rapist 2 months instead of 30 years to life. And you want us to believe that you're going to protect us? Hillary, although some of those files in the case were destroyed, what wasn't destroyed was the victim's memory. She says that you took her through hell, that she had never been attacked before, that she was a 12-year-old virgin, that she spent 5 days in a coma and months recovering from the beating that accompanied her rape. She says that you're a liar. She says that if you become president, she fears you won't tell the world the truth. But in pure Clinton fashion, in your book, Living History, you talk about this case and how difficult it was for you, torn because of the emotional and the ethical issues, and that you set up an Arkansas rape hotline because of it. Interesting, though, no mention of that hotline on the tapes at the time. And you trumpet yourself as a crusader, saying that you've had to use your voice to tell stories that wouldn't be heard unless you told them. What's that, Hillary? Your job was to represent a defendant to the best of your ability? You're right. As a judge, I've assigned many lawyers like you to represent the worst of the worst. But it's totally another thing to laugh about gaming the system, to laugh that your client gamed the lie detector, trashing a victim, laughing about a 12-year-old raped by 2 men. How can we expect a woman as cold and calculating as you to be a protector of all Americans? I want a woman president, but not you.
I've just talked to you about the ongoing coup and counter-coup that is being initiated by the Clintons on the one hand, and counter-coup by the FBI, the New York Police Department, and other branches of our intelligence community. The important part to remember is also that not all the information has come out with regards to Weiner and his sexting to a 15-year-old North Carolina teenager. The real issue underlying a lot of Bill Clinton's nefarious activities as well as Hillary Clinton's sexual activities is the fact that we know that both of them have been a major part and participant of what's called the Lolita Express, which is a plane owned by Mr. Jeff Epstein, a wealthy multimillionaire who flies down to the Bahamas and allows Bill Clinton and Hillary to engage in sex with minors. That is called pedophilia. And as a result of the excellent work that the New York Police Department does in tracking pedophiliacs, they also have a record of both Hillary, Bill, and other people associated with the Clintons with regard to pedophilia. So not only will she be charged with obstruction of justice, with lying to a prosecutor in the FBI, she will also be charged with pedophilia, sex with minors, and other assorted issues. Bill might be brought up again on certain charges because those charges still relate to American crime and prosecutorial issues. But I do want to inform you that we are well aware in the intelligence community of their activities that hasn't stopped. And we're not talking about one trip to the Bahamas, we're talking about a multiple of 20 or 30 trips that Bill and Hillary did take separately and together on the Lolita Express to engage in sexual activities with minors. I hope you continue to listen to what we have to say. This is Dr. Steve Pachenik, and I will keep on informing you as to what is happening in this second American Revolution that we are witnessing in 2016. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. America. On November 1, 2016, Hillary and Bill Clinton and their entourage of assistants effected a civilian coup. In contrast to the usual concept of a coup where the military is involved and takes over the White House and communication centers, very much like the scenarios you see in a movie, this coup was done silently and very effectively through two methods: corruption and co-optation. The Clintons have been involved in co-opting our White House, our judiciary, our CIA, our Federal Bureau of Investigation, our Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, and our Director of the FBI, James Comey, for some time now. What they've done is to make sure that they were part and parcel of a group of people who were interrelated through political cronyism. However, in order to stop this coup, we in the intelligence community and others involved have informally gotten together, and with their permission, I am beginning to announce that we've initiated a counter-coup through Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. What has happened in effect when Comey had to open up the case of Hillary Clinton and discuss the emails that were involved with the Anthony Weiner case, it was not the case itself that was as important as the fact that this was the entree for many of us in the counter-coup to say to the administration, we have your number. Not only do we have your number, we're going to stop you from making Hillary the President of the United States. And at the same time, we will convict and indict the President of the United States, Loretta Lynch, and many others who were involved in the cover-up of the massive corruption that occurred under the Clinton Foundation. Now, in both cases, their coup was silent, and our counter-coup was silent, and it was all transgressed or occurred on the internet. And this is probably the first time in the history of any country where a coup was initiated through the internet and a counter-coup was initiated through the internet. I am just a small part of something far bigger than myself. It was the brave men and women who were in the FBI, the CIA, the Director of Intelligence, the military intelligence, and men and women in 15 other intelligence organizations who were sick and tired of seeing this corruption in the White House, in the Justice Department, and in the intelligence system. And we decided that there was something we had to do in order to save the Republic. So we initiated a counter-coup through Julian Assange, who's been very brave and really quite formidable in his ability to come forth and provide all the necessary emails that we gave to him in order to undermine Hillary and Bill Clinton. Again, America, we're going through a major, major transition and, quite frankly, a second American Revolution. We do not have guns, we do not have weapons, we do not intend to kill anybody, we do not intend to harm anybody. But we, the American public, and those of us who serve as veterans and in the intelligence service like myself, will stop the Clintons from assuming power that they don't deserve. At the same time, we will make certain that Obama leaves without any trail of a pardon or any other act of treason. In effect, we want a peaceful transition in this great American Republic. I bring you this news, and I want you to understand what has happened. A moment of history is occurring right now in front of us, and I'm proud to explain it to you.
There's an early 2014 email from Hillary Clinton, so not so long after she left Secretary of State, to her campaign manager, John Podesta. That email, it states that ISIS is funded by Saudi Arabia and Qatar, the governments of Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Now, this is I think this is the most significant email in the whole collection. And perhaps because Saudi and Qatari money is spread all over the place, including into many media institutions. All serious analysts know, even the US government has mentioned or agreed with that some Saudi figures have been supporting ISIS, funding ISIS. But the dodge has always been that's well, it's just some rogue princes using their cut of the oil money to do whatever they like, but actually the government disapproves. But that email says that no, it is the governments of Saudi and the government and Qatar that have been funding ISIS.
The Saudis, the Qataris, the Moroccans, the Bahrainis, particularly the Saudis and the Qataris, are giving all this money to the Clinton Foundation, while Hillary Clinton is Secretary of State and the State Department is approving massive arms sales, particularly to Saudi Arabia.
Under Hillary Clinton, and our Clinton emails reveal significant discussion about it, the largest ever arms deal in the world was made with Saudi Arabia, more than $80 billion. In fact, during her tenure as Secretary of State, total arms exports from the United States, in terms of the dollar value, doubled.
And of course, the consequence of that is that this notorious terrorist jihadist group called ISIL or ISIS is created largely with money from the very people who are giving money to the Clinton Foundation.
Yes.
That's extraordinary.
Pois é, pessoal, como eu havia dito no vídeo de ontem, o Wikileaks não para de lançar bombas em cima da campanha de Hillary Clinton. A campanha dela está literalmente sendo derretida devido àquilo que está sendo divulgado para os cidadãos e eleitores norte-americanos. Para quem não sabe, havia uma investigação do FBI em curso a respeito do que estava acontecendo com a família Clinton. E essa investigação foi literalmente arquivada de uma hora para outra. Com o que a família Clinton não contava? Com o fato de que várias pessoas, tanto de órgãos públicos como cidadãos comuns, formaram uma espécie de rede de inteligência e contra-atacaram. Começaram a divulgar fatos que estavam escondidos dos olhos do público e pressionaram a tal forma que o FBI foi obrigado a reiniciar as investigações. Isso está sendo chamado de Segunda Revolução Americana, embora não envolva armas, esteja ocorrendo na internet de uma forma subterrânea, quer dizer, as pessoas não estão acompanhando toda a movimentação dos bastidores, tanto do lado dos Clinton como do lado dessa inteligência que foi formada com cidadãos comuns do povo, obviamente, imagino eu, com dinheiro também de interesses, né, que pretendem derrubar os Clinton, mas afinal de contas que divulgando parte das informações que haviam sido apagadas naqueles 33 mil famigerados e-mails, né? E uma grande acusação é de que os Clinton teriam formado uma grande rede de influência política e de corrupção, de forma que fatos que atingissem eles jamais chegassem às raias da justiça. Mais ou menos aquilo que nós vimos acontecendo aqui no Brasil. Mas as coisas não aconteceram exatamente como eles esperavam. E uma das acusações fortíssimas que eu mencionava no vídeo anterior, que seriam divulgadas, era a respeito de uma possibilidade dos Clinton estarem envolvidos numa rede de pedofilia e que eles teriam tomado por 20 ou 30 vezes um avião chamado Lolita Express, apelidado de Lolita Express, rumo às Bahamas. Ora Hillary, ora Bill e ora os dois juntos, para ter relações sexuais com crianças. Essas informações foram trazidas a público nos Estados Unidos e traduzidas aqui para o português pelo canal do YouTube Tradutores de Direito. Inclusive eu colocarei no link na descrição desse vídeo os dois vídeos que me trouxeram ao conhecimento esses fatos. E trago para vocês novamente isso. Então, literalmente, nós estamos vendo algo que poderá levar ao derretimento da campanha de Hillary, ao continuidade do processo, como nós vimos que já foi reaberto, e possivelmente até mesmo a prisão de grandes personalidades norte-americanas. Então nós estamos vendo aí um desfecho na semana final, da reta final das eleições norte-americanas, que poderão mudar os destinos do mundo. É isso aí, pessoal. Um forte abraço a todos e até o próximo vídeo, se Deus quiser.
vote for me because I'm a woman. One of my merits is I'm a woman. All these mothers vote for me because I'm a woman. Because I'm a woman. Vote for me because I'm a woman. One of my merits is I'm a woman. All these mothers vote for me because I'm a woman. Because I'm a woman.
Hillary Clinton just loves women so much.
Women, woman, woman, women, woman, women, 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 woman, woman, women, 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 woman, women,
There's never been a more strident feminist. There's never been a more ardent defender of women's rights. Really? Is that why Hillary Clinton defended a rapist who molested a 12-year-old girl and then laughed about helping him get away with it? Oh, you didn't hear about that? Maybe it was because the mainstream media was too busy telling you about how Donald Trump allegedly called a woman fat 20 years ago. Kathy Shelton was brutally beaten and raped on the side of a desolate Arkansas road by 41-year-old Thomas Alfred Taylor.
It's sad that a 12-year-old had to go through what I had to go through. Because for days I cried and cried and cried over it. Sometimes I'll still break down and cry.
The young lawyer called upon to defend Taylor, Hillary Clinton. Clinton, who said that all rape victims should be believed, set out to destroy Kathy Shelton's credibility by smearing her. Hillary claimed the victim was emotionally unstable, had fantasized about having sex with older men, and had romanticized the experience. It was such a romantic experience for Kathy Shelton that she spent 5 days in a coma and 10 years in therapy after the incident. Hillary Clinton, the so-called women's rights champion, blamed the rape victim.
There's never been any evidence presented by anyone to substantiate the allegations that Hillary Clinton made in that affidavit. To the victim, this was an attempt by Hillary Clinton to smear her in order to exonerate her attacker. The victim believes that Hillary Clinton lied in order to win.
But get this, the crime lab cut out a part of the victim's underwear to test it and found Taylor's semen mixed in with Kathy Shelton's blood. Case closed, right? Wrong. Hillary Clinton takes the rest of the underwear, absent the part that's already been cut out and tested, on a 1,200-mile journey to New York and has the other part of it tested. The part that Clinton took tests negative, and the other part that contained the blood and semen is mysteriously lost. And I'm sure that had nothing whatsoever to do with the fact that the judge in the case was a Clinton campaign donor. The prosecution then had to pursue lesser charges, and thanks to Hillary Clinton, the rapist only served 2 months in jail when he should have been locked up for life.
How did it turn out? Oh, he plea bargained. He got him off. With time served in the county jail. He'd been in the county jail about 2 months.
But then in 2014, a tape emerges where Hillary is heard laughing about the moment when she presented her forensic evidence.
I handed it to Bailey Gibson. I said, well, this guy's ready to come from New York to prevent this miscarriage of justice.
And that's not all.
Clinton on the same tape laughing about her client passing a polygraph.
He took a lie detector test. I had to take a polygraph, which he passed, which forever destroyed my faith in polygraphs. But you know what was sad about it was that the prosecutors had evidence.
Think about what you just heard. Clinton says him passing a polygraph test made her lose faith in polygraph tests, meaning she knew that he had committed the rape and lied about it, yet she still defended him anyway. Hillary knew he was guilty and laughed about it. She laughed about helping a child molester who brutally raped a 12-year-old girl get away with it. What kind of monster does that?
You cannot at once smear a rape victim and then turn around and claim to be a defender or a role model for women.
Remember, the media is whipping up hysteria over an allegation that Trump called someone fat 20 years ago. He's the one being demonized as a misogynistic woman hater, while Hillary gets a free pass. Trump may have made some mean comments about women, while Hillary provably ruined a woman's life by helping her rapist go free. Think about that.
When I come out of a coma, I had several stitches down there, and because they tore me up bad. And the doctor said it's a 99% chance that I can't have kids. When I was younger, I really wanted a kid so bad. I love kids, but I never had any kids.
If this was a standalone issue, it would be bad enough. But Hillary Clinton has a history of being a rape enabler for her husband, of intimidating and silencing female rape victims. A history of maliciously targeting Bill Clinton's lovers. She vowed to crucify and destroy Jennifer Flowers, just like she smeared Kathy Shelton, a 12-year-old rape victim. Hillary Clinton has spent most of her political life decimating the lives of women. She also takes hundreds of millions of dollars from Saudi Arabia and other countries that oppress women. Is this the behaviour of someone who cares about women's rights?
You lied on me, and you're supposed to be it for women? Do you call that for women? What you done to me? And I heard you on tape laughing.
Hillary Clinton is a terrible feminist. She tramples on women any chance she gets to further her political agenda. Mark my words, this story will not be allowed to die. The mainstream media will be forced to cover this very soon. This is Hillary Clinton's real record on women's rights. Will the rest of America see the real Hillary before it's too late?
Who are these Democrats?
It is my judgment.
Dinesh D'Souza was sentenced on Tuesday to spend 8 months in a confinement center.
It all began when the Obama administration tried to shut me up.
You know, gang's all about stealing, man.
What did I learn? All crime is about stealing. The big criminals are still at large.
Didn't see any reason to keep them.
The system doesn't go after them because they run the system. It's time to go behind the curtain and discover the soul of the Democratic Party.
50 lashes. Does that feel? Come on. The Democrats support slaves.
This Civil Rights Act will allow colored men to sit at the same table beside the white guests.
Contaminate all Democrats who are now furnishing arms to the Ku Klux Klan.
To the Democratic Party.
Why has all this been swept under the rug?
To cover the tracks of the Democratic Party.
And we're not even talking about ancient history.
The racism continued well into the 20th century.
That as long as the black man continue to ravish our white women, we will continue to lynch him.
We gotta give him a little something.
Plantation politics.
The Democrats went from slavery to enslavement.
Corrupt big city bosses, that's how you get corrupt unions.
What does progressive actually mean?
Social engineering and social control.
The most merciful thing that a large family does to one of its infant members is to kill it.
The opening video at the Democratic Convention in 2012, government is the one thing we all belong to. Because no, government belongs to us. We don't belong to it.
What are these Democrats hiding?
This is about buying and selling influence by foreign oligarchs and foreign governments. When you follow the money, there are very, very few coincidences.
What if the goal of the Democratic Party is to steal the most valuable thing the world has ever produced? What if their plan is to steal America? Who will stop them now?